Jay Ward, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Good to see you too.
Yeah, thanks for joining me here on the Biscuit Blitz for a few minutes. And before I start the 5 minute clock, let's just have you tell everyone who you are, how long you've lived in Charlotte, and just kind of a summary of what you do.
My name is Jay Ward. I've lived in Charlotte for about 14 years. I'm a poet, a writer, a spoken word artist. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and with a number of accolades to your name, National Poetry Slam winner of 2018, individual World Poetry Slam 2019. I mean, on and on. So it's awesome that you're in our community, quite frankly.
Thank you.
So let me start the clock. 5 minutes of blitz here. And this is an opportunity really to just for folks to get to know the people that inspire us out in Charlotte. And so you've been on our short list. Tell us a little bit about the projects you're involved in right now and maybe how they've been impacted or not impacted by the current crisis.
So I just released a book. It's for pre-order, a micro chapbook from Bull City Press called "Sing Me a Lesser Wound." So that just came available for pre-order, and the orders will go out in June. BullCityPress.com. It's only $3.99. I'm working on a full-length manuscript, and I've been meaning to do this for a while. So the quarantine kind of allowed me to phase into that. I'm working on a full-length manuscript of poems that I'm really excited about. So I've gotten some headway on that. I had the idea last summer to kind of do a self-guided MFA program because working full-time, it's kind of hard to kind of commit myself to a full-time MFA. So myself and three other writers during the quarantine, starting on May 1st, have actually started doing our own little self-guided, self-paced course based on actual MFA programs that we've talked to. So that's been really exciting. And I think you know Blues. So myself
Yep.
and Blues and a poet named Jamal Cohen started just before the quarantine. We started a podcast called Poet Up, which is available now on all streaming platforms. There's 4 episodes there. And we just did our 5th this past Saturday. So busy. We've been keeping
Yeah, no
ourselves busy.
kidding. So it sounds like the current state of affairs has actually allowed you space to, first of all, continue on with a creative project in the form of a book that you've been working on. The self-guided MFA program and the podcast. You've found ways to stay creative and connected with your fellow artists during this time.
Yeah, and to defer a little bit of credit away from myself, I think we had planned these things anyway, and it works out that we can do some of them virtually and kind of hold ourselves accountable during that time to do it.
Yeah, of course. Well, you are such a presence on the slam poet stage, not just here, but across the country. Talk to me a little bit about how does it feel? Are you missing that presence on the stage, that connection with a live audience? And what do you think's next for live gatherings and live performance?
I do miss it. I had already kind of decided to step away from the performance aspect and focus on some other things before this quarantine hit. But I do miss being on a live stage. I've done some virtual events and just miss that energy of being right there in the presence of people. As far as the future, I do think this will have, of course, lasting impact on how events are handled. I think people that watch these virtual events realize how much they need art in their lives.
Yeah.
And I think now we'll be a little bit more willing to participate, certainly in the live events, but even in virtual events going forward where they can be exposed to artists from around the country that they wouldn't be just by going to their local events. So I'm hoping that it will be like a balancing of the two, that people will be more likely to participate in virtual events, but also more likely to go out and be in a physical space when they can.
Absolutely. What about you personally? Is there something that you find yourself missing during this very surreal chapter that maybe you're surprised you're missing, or that it just hits you that you're missing it so much?
Well, I'm naturally an introvert, and I also work from home. So some of this is kind of the same for me.
Yeah.
And then after about 3 or 4 weeks, it's like, all right, well, I need to be around people. Fortunately, my girlfriend's with me, and we have been watching shows and we've been hanging out, and that's been great, and spending a lot of time together. I do miss, I think more than I thought I would, like interaction with groups of people, because that's something I normally shy away from, but I think I do miss that a little bit.
Isn't that something that even those of us that are natural introverts are still missing that human connection in public? So it's just an interesting way to look at that. Okay, so in our final 30 seconds, you just mentioned that you and your girlfriend have been spending some time catching up on shows. I got to know, what does Jay Ward watch? I need some Jay Ward recommendations.
Well, yeah, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom now. We started with all the high recommendations, and now we're just delving into.
Give me the good one. Give me your highlights.
We just finished Westworld.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
We just finished Westworld. Also, I had never seen. A lot of people are going to make fun of me for this, but I had never seen any of the Bad Boys movies. So I ended up watching them in reverse order. I watched Bad Boys 3, then 2, then 1. But Westworld is good. Particularly the first season was good. Second season, third season, okay. But the first season of Westworld was great. Trying to think, what else did we watch that was. Oh yeah, Ozark. Yeah, thank you. We watched Ozark, which is amazing, and I can't wait for that next season to come.
Fantastic. And Ozark does have some Charlotte talent in it, including Rob Trevalier, who plays the sheriff on the show. Brian LaFontaine. Oh yeah, Brian LaFontaine recently had a spot on there, and some others. So it's great to see Charlotte talent on that show. So I'm glad we got the Jay Ward Rex now. We got Ozark, we got Westworld, and then Bad Boys in reverse order. So there you go.
Yep.
Well, listen, man, thank you so much for spending 5 minutes getting blitzed with me here. And, I'm just wishing you and everyone in your life, to stay safe and well and connected and creative. And clearly you're doing that. So that's heartening to hear. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks so much, Matt.